Hare Krishna. So we have started chapter number 15, the Purushottam Yoga, or the Yoga of Supreme. And Krishna has started speaking about a very, very special tree. A tree which is inverted, or the tree which has got the roots going upwards and the branches growing downwards. And now Krishna is giving us more details about this tree in Shloka number 2. So let's see that now. Adhaschordvam prasritastasya shakha guna pravriddha vishaya pravalaha adascha mulanyanusantatani karmanubandhini manushya loke. So here Krishna is saying that shakha, so he's talking about shakha. He's talking about tasya shakha. So basically, tasya, it's talking about that tree. That tree's shakha, branches. So what is the speciality of this? Prasritas. It is extending. Where is it extending? Where are these branches extending? Adaha cha urdhvam. It's going downwards, it's going upwards. The branches are growing in both the directions, downwards also and upwards also. And then, how is this tree nourished? So for normal tree, water nourishes. So in this tree, what is nourishing this tree? Guna pravriddha. The three modes of material nature are nourishing this tree. And now, some indication of some details of the tree, especially the branches. Vishaya pravalaha. So, on these branches we have twigs. So these twigs represent the sense objects. Adha cha mulani anusantatani. So now it is said that there are some roots, mula, which is growing downwards. And anusantatani, basically it's extending downwards. And then it is said, karma anubandhini manushya loke. And these are bound to the fruitive actions of human society. So here there are some things which we have to understand. So we are speaking about the branches growing upwards and downwards, the twigs which are there on the branches, and there are some roots which are growing downwards. So these are three aspects which are given in this particular shloka. So let's see now one after another here. Let's talk about the branches first. The branches spread in all directions. In the lower parts, there are variegated manifestations of living entities. Human beings, animals, horses, cows, dogs, cats, etc. These are situated on the lower parts of the branches. So in the lower parts of the branches, we have human beings and other animals. And then the upper parts, who are there in the upper parts? Here it is given. In the upper parts, we have the higher forms of living entities, like the Devi Devtas, the demigods, Gandharvas, and many other higher species. So in the upper parts, we have these higher beings, and in the lower parts, we humans and animals are there. Now here it is said, as a tree is nourished by water, so this tree is nourished by the three modes of material nature. A very, very important point. So what is nourishing this tree? The three modes of material nature are nourishing this tree. So what does that mean? What does that mean that these three modes are nourishing this tree? Here it is said. A nice analogy is given. Sometimes we find that a tract of land is barren for the want of sufficient water, and sometimes the tract is very green. So some place where the water is good, the tract is green. Other place where the water is less, so we'll not find much greenery there. Similarly, here it is said, where particular modes of material nature are proportionately greater in quantity, the different species of life are manifested accordingly. So it depends on which place the mode of goodness is more, which place the mode of ignorance is more, which place the mode of passion is more. Depending on that, various species will manifest, depending on the modes of material nature. Here it is said about the twigs now. So hope you have understood about the branches. Now we're talking about the twigs. So what are these twigs representing? The twigs of the tree are considered to be the sense objects. And here it is said, by development of different modes of material nature, we develop different senses, and by the senses we enjoy different varieties of sense objects. So basically, see, we have the branches which are growing upwards and downwards. So the tip of the branch, so twig is there and the branch is there, so the tip that is there. So that tip represents the senses, and the twig is representing the sense object. Now, it's a very nice thing. Senses means the five knowledge acquiring senses which we have: eyes, nose, ears, tongue and skin. What are the sense objects? The sight or vision, and then we have smell, taste, sound and touch. So now, depending on which branch this twig is available, what we can understand? So, depending on a particular mode of material nature, a particular species will be there on that particular branch. Now, depending on that, which species it is, it will get attracted to certain form of sense objects or certain twigs. Like for example, a hog will get attracted to what? Stool. But a human being maybe will get attracted to some sweets. So in this way, we have got different species on the different branches, and then they're getting attracted to different sense objects which are represented by the twigs. And the senses are the meeting point of the branch and the twig. Those are the senses. Now here it is said that the subsidiary roots are attachment and aversions, which are byproducts of different varieties of suffering and sense enjoyment. The tendencies towards piety and impiety are considered to develop from these secondary roots, which spread in all directions. See, in the first verse, we spoke about the main roots, which are growing upwards, and the branches are going downwards. But now in this shloka, we have something called as the secondary roots. The secondary roots are growing downwards. And these roots represents what? So here it is said that these roots are representing the attachments and aversions. See, any activity that we do in this world, we get some suffering or we get enjoyment. So depending on that, we will get averse to certain things and will get attached to certain things. So the attachments and aversions by doing certain activity are represented by these roots, the secondary roots. And these secondary roots are very, very strong. They bind the person in this material world. Because every attachment will hold us in this material world. Not this attachment, even the aversion will hold us in this world. So either I hate someone or either I love someone. My destination is the same, that is the material existence. Congratulations. And then here it is said, the real root is from Brahmaloka, and the other roots are in the human planetary systems. After one enjoys the results of virtuous activities in the upper planetary systems, he comes down to this earth and renews his karma or fruitive activities for promotion. This planet of human beings is considered the field of activities. It's a known fact. So we have the middle planetary systems, the Bhuloka. We have the higher planetary systems and the lower planetary systems. And we have the hellish planets. So now, when a person is doing any activity, he'll get papa or punya. And where is this person? This person is in Bhuloka. That's what is the assumption. So if his punya is more, he'll go to the higher heavenly planets. Maybe he'll go to Brahmaloka also. But then, if he is very sinful, hellish planet is the destination. Now, it's a very, very important point to understand that the person might go to heavenly planet, but then after enjoying, he has to come down to this planet. Because it has to be understood that karma or the reactions to the karma, the papa and punya, are given only on this planet called Bhuloka. So this is the place of activity. In the higher planetary systems, the person enjoys. In the hellish planets, the person suffers like anything. So when the enjoyment is good enough and his pious credits are over, he'll come back to this planet. When he has suffered enough in the hellish planet, he'll come back again to this planet, and then he will renew his new karma. He will do some activities and then he'll get some new reactions, and he's ready to travel either higher planets or go to the hellish planets. So in this way we understand that these attachments and aversions are created where? On this Bhuloka. So here Prabhupada is very nicely mentioning the main roots are represented in the Brahmaloka, whereas the secondary roots which hold the person in this universe or in this material existence are there in Bhuloka, or on this planetary system where we are living currently in. So in this way, very nicely, Prabhupada has mentioned that how this planet of human beings is considered as the field of activities. Now very nicely, he has described, Krishna has described and Prabhupada has explained us further to understand the details of this tree. But then it doesn't end here. Krishna is going to give us few more details of this tree so that we understand that how to cut this tree. It's a very important lesson that we have learned here. That whatever activities we do on this planet, Bhuloka, they are going to determine our destination, either higher or lower. So it's very, very important to be very conscious and cautious while doing any activity in this world. We should be very careful that we avoid the 4 sinful activities: meat eating, gambling, illicit sex and intoxication. We should make sure we strictly avoid these 4 and we engage ourselves as much as possible in devotional activities like chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, reading Bhagavad Gita, hearing Bhagavad Gita, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, doing various services for the betterment of the humanity by giving them this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, and doing everything possible to get closer to Krishna. So this is a very, very important point to meditate on, or else these secondary roots will keep us in this material world forever and will not be able to attain our destination. So let's see in the next verse that what are the other details that Krishna is giving us about this tree. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna